Andrea, I keep reading that under new leadership with John Delaney at the helm of Windstar, that Windstar has gone through a bit of a resurgence. So I want you to tell us about this new breed of Windstar. But even before we do that,
Yes.
I want to make sure agents know who and what Windstar is, because to me the name says it all. Wind.
And star.
Sails. It's just the most beautiful ship I've ever seen in my life. But let's tell them about the product.
Absolutely. Well, Nina, what we like to say in our tagline is 180 degrees from ordinary. And that truly is who we are and what we've become. Just think about it. When you think of doing a 360 degrees, you're back to square one. But 180 is taking you in a completely different direction. And that is who we are. We're so different from the mainstream cruises out there. It is really a different experience. It's about the destination authenticity, which is making us so different, and from all the things that you've heard. It is about the experience on board, but it is really about taking guests, people who have traveled many, many times, on a new, different experience. And that's that true 180 degrees from ordinary.
If I may make a slight commercial for Windstar, from our sponsor, I was on a Windstar ship once, and when the sails unfurl and they play the music and the ship leaves the port, I felt like I was alone. First of all, I was with all the other people on the deck, but I felt like I was completely alone, and I was just weeping with the emotion of it. What other cruise line can offer you that kind of experience?
I don't believe many, if any at all, and I have to tell you I had that same emotion. But that is what we try and evoke in people, is that private yacht experience.
Right.
We're small enough to be able to do that, so you truly feel as if you're on your own private yacht, and with that experience, we actually got you to feel
Exactly.
that way. Yes.
Now, what is new and different? We're talking about destinations and itineraries having shifted, so let's tell the agents about that.
Exciting news. Well, when John Delaney came on board, he really introduced a whole lot of new and exciting destinations, and we needed to, because we get over a 50% repeat clientele. So it's all very well going into the very unique destinations in the Caribbean and wonderful ports in the Mediterranean and Europe, but we had to look for new and exciting destinations. So we started with Asia last year, which has been a phenomenal success. We've just finished our season in Japan with 2 beautiful itineraries. Grand Japan, our Star Legend is the ship that's doing this, has just done a Trans-Pacific and is going to start a new season in Alaska. And Nina, we haven't been there for the last 15 years.
Alaska on Windstar.
On Windstar, and these are going to be, talk about authentic destinations. This is going to be the authentic Alaska. We are doing 11, 12, 14-day itineraries. We are going to have expedition experts on all the cruises doing lectures. We'll have glaciologists, naturalists.
Wow.
It's going to be phenomenal. But we all have water sports platforms on all our ships.
Right.
So when we go through the Grenville Channel, which is the Canadian Inside Passage, and Tracy Arm and Endicott Arm and Misty Fjord, we're going to be lowering our water sports platform, and guests are going to be able to kayak and zodiac right off the back of the ship, right there. When we see a pot of whales, we're small enough to turn around and follow the whales rather than say, here's some binoculars, have a look at what's over there.
Fabulous. Love it, love it. Let's tell the agents about the onboard product, the service, the cuisine, all of those things, because of course their clients will be asking them about that.
Absolutely. So it's a very relaxed, understated luxury experience. So there's no formal nights, no standing in lines, no making reservations unless it's at the specialty restaurant. So we do ask for guests to make a reservation. We want everybody to have a turn at going, but there is no surcharge. So all the meals are included on Windstar. But it is that understated luxury, as I mentioned, that unpretentiousness, if you will. People have done the long cruises and they've done the dress-ups, and this is just getting down to basics, getting into the destination as a guest rather than a tourist.
Well said.
Absolutely, they're seeking that authenticity. And they engaged in the destination, and that is really the difference. You spoke about the food. We are the official partners. We've just signed a multi-year preferred partnership with the James Beard Foundation. For those of you who don't know about James Beard, it's an American organization that recognizes phenomenal chefs, sommeliers, mixologists, and we have already started introducing their menu items, their different recipes. We're going to be doing some culinary cruises where these guest chefs will come in and do wonderful demonstrations and introduce their meals.
I find those themed cruises are a brilliant idea because it gives the agent a reason to call their client, gives the agent a reason to try and be in touch, to sell them something, which is always wonderful to know why you can pick up the phone. Andrea, I want to make sure that agents understand who they sell a Windstar product to, because I think that's something very, very important.
Absolutely, and Nina, you hit the nail on the head with that, because it might not appeal to everybody, but I have to tell you there is a vast array of clients that will automatically come to mind when we speak about it now. Think of those river cruisers out there. They love that small ship ambiance. They love the small port charm. That is what Windstar does on the ocean.
Right.
Because we're small, we very often dock right in port. We very often stay late at night because we can. There's not that frenetic urgency to go to a destination, take a picture, buy a souvenir, have something to drink, and then stand in line to get onto the tender again. People can experience the destination, go back to the ship for a beautiful meal, and then go back into port to still get that full experience of the whole destination. So it's for those river cruisers out there. It's also for first-time travelers. You know, that overwhelming intimidation of, oh, I would like to go on a cruise, but they're going to be thousands and thousands of people. This is not the case. Our biggest ship takes 310, our other 3 star ships take 212 guests, and our 2 smaller wind ships take 148. So you're not going to get those crowds.
What would be a really easy itinerary for an agent to break into selling Windstar? Because I was reading an article about one of the presentations at the CLIA event recently, and it was said that the best way to get agents who are not comfortable selling cruising to really sell the product like Amazon, in other words, make it really easy, off the shelf. So where within the Windstar range would they reach for that Amazon product?
And I love that description. It really is. And we make it that easy for them because everything is there either at a phone call or we've got a booking engine, book Windstar online. So that really is easy. It's a user-friendly program. But I would really say it depends on where they're selling from. So we sell obviously, so it depends on airlift. But I mean, one of the things you say easy, so often, just as an off-the-cuff example, people want to go to Iceland. It's difficult to get there, it's expensive, the food is exorbitant. What better way? We do a 7-day round trip, Reykjavik to Reykjavik. How easy is that for agents to say to their clients, you want to go to Iceland, do it on Windstar. You're going to see the whole country in the luxury of your ship, beautiful meals, but you're going to get to see the entire destination.
Which is a real bucket list, I think, for a lot of people. And you're right. Are you going to go and try and book the accommodation, et cetera? Why not do it on a ship?
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
And, you know, we could talk about Caribbean, and so often clients will say, oh, I've done the Caribbean, I've done the Caribbean. But look at our ports of call. We do it like nobody else. It's not the usual Eastern and Western Mediterranean destinations. We're one of the very few cruise lines that goes to Montserrat. We go to Virgin Gorda, Jost van Dyke, you know, very interesting, unique destinations because we can. We're small enough to go there. And that might be another easier destination for a lot of clients. We've got airlift certainly out of Ontario to say, you know what, do the Caribbean, but do it differently on a Windstar.
Andrea, I sense the passion that you have for the company, for the product. I'm so glad to see you in this role because I'm sold. I don't know if the agents are watching or sold, but I'm sold.
Nina, all it takes, if you're sold, they're going to be sold for sure.
Thank you so much for doing this. This is a great update. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.